At 62, I woke up every morning without wanting to get out of bed, not because of back pain or physical fatigue, but because I no longer saw any reason to live another day. Every morning, I saw a faded man in the mirror. My belly had grown, my shoulders slumped, and my eyes were sunken. And the most painful part, I was no longer the man my wife had once loved. She was still with me, still caring. But her gaze, even though she didn't mean to, had changed, as if she were living with a memory, not the man standing before her. I hadn't had an accident. I wasn't terminally ill. I was just disappearing, slowly, inside my own body, day by day, cell by cell, emotion by emotion, pieces of manhood evaporating like steam from a cold coffee mug. If you've quietly felt any of this, take a second to click subscribe. I don't sell pills. I don't glamorize aging. I just want to help you find your strength, dignity, and manhood again, the natural way. My name is Michael, 62 years old. I used to be a vibrant man, walking every morning, cooking on weekends, strumming the guitar, always finding ways to make my wife laugh. There was a time I thought I'd never get old, at least not in spirit. But then, something in me began to dim. It started with broken sleep. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, heart racing, mind spinning, like I'd woken from a dream I couldn't remember. Then the desire started fading. Not just for sex, but for life itself, for creating anything at all. I began to ache. My belly grew. I lost muscle. Songs I once loved only made me feel tired. I sat in silence for hours, numb, in front of the TV. My mood was always low, grumpy, flat, and I hated myself for it. I avoided people. I avoided my wife. I didn't want her to see me weak, dull, no longer masculine. And deep down, I feared she might stop loving me. Not because she changed, but because I was no longer the man she once loved. Then one day, my doctor asked, "Have you had your testosterone checked?" I was surprised. "I'm not a bodybuilder," I said. He looked at me seriously. "Testosterone is the core male hormone. It affects energy, muscle, sexuality, even emotion." I got tested. The results came back lower than the average for a 70-year-old man. That's when I realized I wasn't old. I was running out of fire from within. In a man's body, testosterone is the central fire. It maintains muscle and bone density, drives libido, erections, and sperm production, boosts confidence, willpower, and risk-taking, protects the heart by maintaining good cholesterol, improves memory, sleep, mood, and life drive. When testosterone is low, you're not just physically weaker. You lose a part of your core identity. My doctor suggested hormone replacement therapy, TRT, but I wanted to try the natural road. I wanted to fight like a man, not surrender to age. I started my recovery from within. Every morning, I stepped out onto the front porch while the mist was still hanging in the air. I stood still for 15 to 20 minutes, breathing deeply, soaking in the early sunlight. Morning sunlight isn't just warm. It signals the pineal gland in the brain to regulate your body clock, produce melatonin for sleep, and, more importantly, kickstart vitamin D production, which is foundational for testosterone. I exercised. No gym. Just brisk walking for 30 minutes, daily push-ups and squats. After a month, I added light dumbbells. Movement, especially resistance training, raises luteinizing hormone, LH, which tells your testes to make testosterone, belly fat decreased, which matters because that's where testosterone gets converted into estrogen. I changed my diet, added zinc-rich foods, oysters, pumpkin seeds, eggs, included healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, salmon, cut out sugar, alcohol, and processed foods completely. I learned something critical. Testosterone is built from cholesterol, but the good kind. If you over-restrict fat or live off carbs alone, you're suffocating your endocrine system. Sleep became my top investment. I redesigned our bedroom. No lights, no noise, cool temperature, no electronics. I went to bed on time, stopped drinking fluids after 8 p.m., and practiced 4 to 7 to 8 breathing before falling asleep. Most testosterone is produced during deep sleep, non-REM phase. If your sleep is shallow, short, or fragmented, your T levels will plummet. One bad night equals 1 week downhill. I also started meditating, not for show, but to lower cortisol. That stress hormone, when elevated, suppresses the pituitary gland, which indirectly crushes testosterone. Just 10 minutes of deep breathing each morning, my mind cleared. I felt calmer, and slowly, I started to come back. After 90 days, I went back for a test. My testosterone was back to levels typical for a man in his 40s, completely naturally, but that number wasn't the most important moment. The real moment was one evening, while I was chopping onions in the kitchen. My wife came up behind me, placed her hand on my shoulder, and whispered, "You're back." I turned and looked at her. We didn't say anything else, but I knew I had come home. My son dropped by that weekend, saw me returning from a walk, my shirt soaked in sweat. He smiled. "Training for a marathon, Dad?" I shook my head. "No, I just want to be the man your mum once fell in love with." He nodded softly, then hugged me. "I'm proud of you, Dad. I realized 3 things. Aging doesn't kill testosterone. Poor lifestyle does. You don't need to inject hormones to be vibrant. You need to sleep, eat, move, and remember who you are. Silence is the enemy. Speak up. Take action. Don't wait. If you're still reading this, you're already searching for yourself. I won't promise you'll feel 30 again, but I know this. If you sleep deeply, eat right, move enough, and believe you're worth it, testosterone will come back. And when it comes back, you will too. Hit that subscribe button. I'll share with you 5 signs of low testosterone you may not recognize. The foods that boost T naturally, the best exercises after 60, herbs, mindset, and intimacy in later years. Send this video to a man you care about, because sometimes a story can save a life. You're not too old to be powerful. You just need to remember how to begin again.